Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unboxing the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we put out new content, that would be appreciated also. So this is going to be part 2 of my Record Store Day, April 23rd, 2022 edition. Like I said in the last video, there wasn't anything that I really felt the need to stand in line for early in the morning to get in, like I gotta have it. But a little bit later in the day, I did go to one of my local record stores, and I was able to pick up a couple of cool Record Store Day finds. Now, both the records that I picked up were records that I'm honestly not that familiar with, but they're both done by bands that I absolutely love. And on my last video, I covered the Judas Priest Hero. This time, I'm going to cover LA Guns and their 2002 album, Waking the Dead. So again, this was released in 2002, recorded in 2001. It originally came out on the Spitfire label, which at the time was one of the labels that housed a lot of the acts that were big in the 80s that didn't have major label deals anymore. Like if I'm not mistaken, LA Guns were on Spitfire. I think Union, which featured Karabi and Bruce Kulick, might have been on Spitfire. I also know Alice Cooper and Dio were both on Spitfire at the time. So pretty big label for fans of that genre of music. This Record Store Day edition came out on E1. So it was produced by Andy Johns, who's a legendary producer, has produced everything going all the way back to the 70s. There's no Billboard chart information, as the album didn't chart anywhere, unfortunately, and of course it's never been certified gold or platinum. And just a little bit of factual information: this is the final album that Tracii Guns would play for LA Guns until 2017. So there was a 15-year gap where he was doing other things other than the band that that has his namesake. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Like I said, this is the Record Store Day edition, the Record Store Day April 23rd, 2022. So let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. And like I said, to be honest with you, as big of an LA Guns fan as I am, I will say most of my fanship has been, in their first 3 or 4 albums. And then, I do like a lot of the stuff that they've put out recently since Tracii came back to the band. I will admit there was a middle period there from the mid-90s through, 2017 or so, or 2013 or so, that I'm not super familiar with. And to be fair, I mean, it was a revolving door of members coming and going. Sometimes Phil Lewis was in the band, sometimes he wasn't, sometimes other people were in the band, sometimes they weren't. So there just wasn't even in their chopping and changing, it was just never consistent. So, but I'm going to keep this hype sticker. Record Store Day, LA Guns, Waking the Dead. First time on vinyl, the 2002 classic, featuring 3/5 of the 80s core lineup of Phil Lewis, Tracii Guns, Steve Riley, and then another gentleman named Adam Hamilton. This is red, white, and blue splatter edition vinyl, and also comes with a download card. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so I'll just put that down here so I can keep that hype sticker. So let's take a look here. Here is LA Guns, Waking the Dead, the front cover. Pretty cool. And then if you look on the back, it's just a track listing. 10 tracks. Didn't overdo it too much. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's inside the vinyl here. Alright. So I'm going to pull out the inner sleeve. I don't see anything else other than the download card, which is right there. So that's pretty cool. So nothing else, I guess whatever liner notes you need are going to be right here at the bottom. Anything else, I guess you can go online to Wikipedia and find out, like I did. So inside here, we just have a basic inner sleeve. But if I open up the record, pretty cool. So it's blue with some red and white splatter on it. So there is side A of the record with, I'm assuming that's the Adam Hamilton guy and Phil Lewis there in the middle sticker. And then if you flip it over to side B, you have the sticker in the middle with what looks like a picture of Steve Riley and Tracii Guns, which is kind of interesting and ironic because I'm pretty sure at this point, one of the reasons there's 2 versions of LA Guns running around is because Tracii and Steve Riley don't like each other. So it's kind of interesting and ironic that there they are pictured together on the record here. So again, splatter blue vinyl, and on a recent trip to Asheville, I did see how they actually make these splatter vinyls, and the cool thing about them is, with the way they do it, no one of these is just like the other, so that's kind of cool. You know, so whenever you get like these splatter records, you're getting one of a kind, like a snowflake almost. Okay. So let me go ahead and put the sleeve back in here. Like I said, there is no insert or anything like that other than the download card. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But anyway, you know, so there you go. LA Guns, Waking the Dead. Now, like I said, I picked up 2 record store day releases by bands that I'm huge fans of, but, you know, to be fair, maybe not as familiar with their entire catalog as I should be, and this is no exception. I am not familiar with this record. I do have a digital, I do have a download of it that I was listening to just to kind of get an idea how it sounded, but I'm not familiar with, you know, any of the songs on here. The reviews, let's see. Most people compared it with the first 2 albums, saying it was most like their first 2 albums, LA Guns and Cocked and Loaded. And some other reviews said it's the best album since Cocked and Loaded that they had done. And they had done several albums in between those times. And I know Jeezy Pearl from Love Hate and currently currently Quiet Riot was the singer for LA Guns for a little while. And then, of course, with this album, Phil Lewis came back into the fold. So let's see. I mean, I've heard the first few songs. Don't Look at Me That Way. Okay, Let's Roll. Waking the Dead. And I will say, just from the little bit I heard, it definitely harkens back to that mid to late '80s LA Gun sound, which is certainly not a bad thing. There's even a song on here called "The Ballad," which is the last song on the first side, which is exactly that. It's a ballad. So it's kind of just funny that they named it that way. But I will be honest with you, I'm not as familiar. I'm not familiar with the second side of the album. I haven't gotten that far yet. I've kind of wanted to wait till the vinyl to be able to listen to the entire thing. So I don't have a lot of opinions as far as, you know, how good or bad the album is. But again, I thought it was something cool that I saw was still available in the middle of the afternoon on Record Store Day. So I went ahead and picked it up along with Judas Priest Hero Hero. So check it out, LA Guns, Waking the Dead. If you're a fan of their late 80s, maybe even into early 90s material, it sounds like you won't be disappointed. That's all I've got for you today. Go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below. Hit that notification bell. I've got some other things on my channel. I've got the rest of my Unboxing the Vinyl series where we unbox new albums, record store day editions, reissues, or anything else that I just think is interesting. I've got my Inside the Vinyl series where we talk about live albums and albums that I feel are lost classics. I've got some live coverage out there from different concerts and festivals, Exit 111, Welcome to Rockville. There's some Kiss footage out there. I've also got some footage of a recent Quiet Riot and Warrant concert that I went to. And if you're into disc golf and want to watch regular Joe's stink up courses, I've got some very mediocre videos starring some very mediocre players, myself included. So again, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. There you go, boy.